What's up, guys? It's Stuck in Carbonite, and today we're going to go over a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and that is my top 10 most wanted G.I. Joe classified figures. If you guys do not know, G.I. Joe Classified is one of my favorite figure lines. I am not a completionist. I don't have everything, but I absolutely love those figures, and I honestly don't think I've been truly disappointed at a single purchase I've made so far. And that is absolutely, I think that's like the only line that I can say that about, which is crazy. So I'm not trying to sound like a shill, but I absolutely love G.I. Joe. And does that probably play a factor in why I love the figures so much? Probably. But I do think they're well-made figures, and I think Hasbro does an excellent job at what they do with this line. And they put a lot of care, a lot of thought, a lot of engineering, and I just think that the line has progressively gotten better over the years, and I think that's a good thing. So before we get into the top 10 list, let's just go over some honorable mentions. The first honorable mention we have is Hector Ramirez. But okay, seriously, we're not. I mean, some people might want a Hector Ramirez. If shout out to you if you know who Hector Ramirez is. I really don't want a Hector Ramirez, but somebody probably does. Somebody probably wants a news anchor that just randomly films a battle scene. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a mobile game about 11 or 12 years ago called G.I. Joe Battleground. Shout out to you if you know that game. There's going to be a lot of shout outs this video. But G.I. Joe Battleground, strategy, tactical game. Let me know if you've ever played that. It wasn't all that great. I just really liked the artwork and collecting all the characters. But regardless, seriously, whenever we get into honorable mentions, we need to bring up Scoop. Again, that's a lie. I don't want a Scoop. I just had to throw it out there for Rob from G.I. Joe Berg. So shout out to G.I. Joe Berg. There's the second shout out. So shout out to G.I. Joe Battleground. Shout out to G.I. Joe Berg. Go watch their videos. Go listen to their podcast. They talk about some really cool stuff. They're G.I. Joe experts. Love those guys. Now, seriously, let's get into the real honorable mentions. The first one I have is Flash. Anthony Gambello. You know, he's one of the OG 13. But the reason why I put him as an honorable mention is simply because we are almost finished with the OG 13, and, you know, they're predominantly green shirts. But, like, we're so close to completing the set, I don't think they're going to skip them. You know what I mean? And they're definitely going to go classic Flash, you know, green shirt, red pads for the shirt, for the armor. And, you know, they're going to do a Grand Slam. So I didn't put Grand Slam on here because I like Flash more. I don't know, just preference. But, you know, they're definitely going to go Real American Hero design because, you know, every other version, even though I am one of the only people that likes the Rise of Cobra adaptation of Flash. I don't know if you've seen it. It's very techy, very futuristic looking, which is usually not my cup of tea. But as you're going to see with this list, a lot of mine are just out there characters because I know ball, and they have made so many of our favorite characters. It's kind of hard to decipher, you know, who do I want next, because I'm trying to get characters that don't have any representation. Like, I can think of a million other characters. Well, hold up. A million other designs for characters we already have, if that makes sense. So, like for example, I could literally make a top 10 list of all the different versions of Snake Eyes I'd like to see, but I'm not going to do that. So, my other, like, legitimate honorable mention is Globulus. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on Cobra Law stuff, but I will say, I think it would be really cool to see Globulus. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Cobra Law, but I absolutely love the main characters. I think they're awesome, like Globulus, Nemesis Enforcer, and Pythona. I think they're great. And if you've already done Nemesis or Nemesis Immortal, if you've already done that, Pythona is coming out. The Guard is coming out. So I think it's almost certain that we can safely assume that Globulus is on the way. And I know that with Classified, they will knock it out of the park. So now we're getting into the top 10 list after 5 minutes of yapping. Number 10, the Hydro Viper. This is an underrated pick for me. I put him at 10 because I didn't know where I wanted him to land on the list. And the Hydro Viper is such a cool, such a cool and very menacing design. And if you don't know who Hydro Viper is, he's a Cobra underwater elite trooper. I think he came out in 88 or 89. He has like these webbed hands, and he has this really cool mask that looks almost like dragon-esque, and he has like these fins on him. And you know, everybody loves the G.I. Joe animals, and in some cases, people like the animal figures that come with those deluxe packs more than the actual figure. I think more people talked about Croc Master's freaking crocodile and freaking Timber from the Snake Eyes pack. So it's like, dude, like, we are literally hyping up the animals more than the figures, or the characters. But regardless, Hydro Viper is definitely one I want to see. And, you know, his colors seem very bright, but if they wanted to, I think they could go all black suit with red highlights. But if they want to add the purple and stuff, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with, you know, regular or Real American Hero design. But I do think a modern update, like a shiny red or metallic red with all black, would look super sick on a Hydro Viper. So at number 9, I cheated here. I did 2 figures or 2 characters because I'd be happy with either. And they're from the same media. It's from G.I. Joe Retaliation. So before you sue me and before you scream at me and tell me that I'm wrong and stupid and I don't know G.I. Joe, look, G.I. Joe Retaliation is the best live-action G.I. Joe movie. I don't think the other 2 come nowhere close, and I'm sorry. I just have the most enjoyment with Retaliation, and the way, now I know Storm Shadow's suit hasn't changed since Rise of Cobra, but still, it looks awesome, and I think that they course-corrected with Snake Eyes' look in Retaliation compared to Rise of Cobra, and I love his Retaliation suit. So yes, give me both of those, but if I could only take one, I guess give me just Snake Eyes. And I don't know why I'm losing my voice. Anyways, number 8. This is going to be wacky. Super Trooper. If you guys know who Super Trooper is, he was a Joe that came out in 87 or 88, but he has a super freaking chrome chest plate, shield, weapon, and helmet. Now, do I want him all chrome? Like with the chrome bits? Absolutely. Now, if you make him exclusive, I don't care. Will I buy him? I don't know. But I just want to see him made. I don't care if he's an exclusive or what. Limited release, I don't care. I just want to see what this guy looks. And I want to see how he looks with the classified treatment. Because I think he kind of loses the appeal without the chrome. You know what I mean? Like if they just went with silver plastic, I think he would look kind of, what's the word? Very lackluster. But with the chrome, you know, I think that would be pretty freaking cool. Number 7, I have Overkill. And I don't care, honestly, which version you do of Overkill, but I would like to see the 1992 version, but adapted a little bit. Because if you know, the original figure had like this really bright lime green chest, like almost translucent, which looks cool. And if they want to go that route, I would totally get that figure. But I think it'd be really cool if they muted it or didn't make it translucent and maybe made like the centerpiece, like his torso, like all black and do like black, red, and gold for Overkill. I think that would look really sick, and it kind of fits in with like Iron Grenadiers, even though he's like a bat leader. But regardless, I think it'd be super cool if they did that. And one cool touch, like if you wanted to keep the translucent green bits in there, why don't you make like an opening panel on his chest, and then his innards are like translucent green and there's like gears and stuff? I think that would be super cool. So yes, Overkill, I definitely want to see him. So number 6. I'm skipping numbers here. It's been a long day. Number 6, I have Data Viper. However you want to say data, it doesn't matter. If you don't know this Viper, he is from the G.I. Joe Retaliation line, towards the tail end of it. And this guy was like a brand new character, and to my knowledge, had no appearance in any media whatsoever. So he was really cool because he looked super high tech. And I'm going to have a picture here, but like the helmet or something reminded me of the Iron Man 2 drones, which made me like him even more. But I love how all of his gear was on him. like his laser pistols that had hoses hooked up to his flight pack or whatever. And he had like these missile racks on his shoulder. And I mean, he just looked like a tank. And he has like this really cool helmet, makes him look like a robot. And what's even cooler is he has like a mini Predator drone that you can plug into his back. So like in his armor, a Predator drone can deploy. Instant win for me. I would buy that figure day one, make him a deluxe. I do not care. I will get that figure. Number 5, for real this time, and this one's crazy. The fact that he made number 5 is absolutely insane. And don't kill me, but Annihilator. Yes, if you know who Annihilator is, he's the Iron Grenadier Elite Trooper, and he's like a very bright orange and bright purple. But what makes him so cool and it's so tacky is he has a backpack with freaking helicopter blades on it. The dude has not a jetpack or flight pod. He has a freaking helicopter backpack. How cool is that? I know, when it comes to logic, this makes no sense. It shouldn't work, and it should be like a hazard. It shouldn't be even thought of, but I'd love to see that figure. And if they want to go full-on 1990s craze, when did he come out? 91, I think. If they want to go bright orange and purple, I think that'd be cool. But I would also like to see muted colors. I think he'd look really good in like a burnt orange, like a really dark orange with maybe purple accents or black. I think black and orange would look really good on him. And then instead of making the helicopter blades like kind of like a flat gray, I would like to see. I mean, and I know that this costs money, but like a lot of cool paint applications. Like if you want to do wires connecting to like the props, like red, black, blue, yellow wires, and then maybe like some canisters on the back. I don't know, something to make it a little bit more interesting, like maybe like some gunmetal in there. I think that would look really sick. On to number 4. Pursuit of Cobra, okay? Let me tell y'all something. The 3 3/4 line, Pursuit of Cobra, that came out right after the movie Rise of Cobra, is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best line of figures that Hasbro's ever made for G.I. Joe. I think they really pushed the envelope. They did a lot of experimenting, and they made some really cool designs that, honestly, some of them we've never seen again. And one of those is the Iron Grenadier. And yes, we already have an Iron Grenadier, but I need this one. I don't think you guys understand. This dude is bulky. He looks like a juggernaut. He looks like you could shoot a freaking rocket launcher at him, and he would just walk right through it. And I love how he has the giant shoulder pad armor. He has the giant freaking alien smart gun with a belt feeding to it. Like, dude. Aura. Peak. And you want to talk about menacing? That guy. So yes, we need him. Now, number 3 is actually a very serious one, and it blows my mind that we don't have him in the line yet. But we need Quinn. Quinn is such a pivotal character in the early days of G.I. Joe in the comics, and he's such an interesting character at that. It's like he's honorable, but he's a mercenary. He's the Eskimo mercenary that tries to kill the G.I. Joes at first, or he's actually against them in the beginning, and then he kind of helps Snake Eyes in certain issues where they're kind of like forced to work together, because if they don't, they'll probably die. I think it's awesome. So I'd love to see Quinn. They could do it like the Ultimate Quinn from the Retaliation figure line, where he doesn't have his coat, where it's just like the tan shirt and shorts with the necklace. But I would really like to see like a deluxe version, or if you could single pack it, that'd be great. Like I would love to see the big reddish orange, coat. His little Eskimo hoodie was what I like to call it. I'd love to see that with the figure, and he's got to come with a giant machine gun. If he doesn't, it's not Quinn. To me, that is like a defining feature of that guy. Number 2, again, from the Pursuit of Cobra line, the Cobra Shock Trooper. I don't think you guys understand how freaking awesome this figure is and how popular he is. You would think that Cobra would have like a street level SWAT type of soldier, and that's this guy. He comes with the riot shield. I think the original figure came with like a modified AK-47. So he's got a super cool gun, and I love it. I love the riot shield, and it has to say Cobra along the front. It has to. If it doesn't, it sucks. I don't want it. He also has a cool gas mask. And, he's got this awesome web gear where he has like, knives strapped on him, magazines, you name it. I want this guy decked out with a bunch of weapons and a lot of SWAT type gear. So yes, give me the Cobra Shock Trooper. And number one, I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but this is my most wanted G.I. Joe figure, period, to add to my collection. And he's from the Pursuit of Cobra line, but because he's so expensive, I'd like to have him in classified. And if they make him $40, I'll buy him because he's that important to me. Moneybags Destro. So in the line, he's called Weapon Supplier Destro, but people call him Moneybags is because he came with a suitcase or, a heavily armored briefcase with a crap ton of cash in it. But what makes this Destro important to me is that he matches the Iron Grenadiers from Pursuit of Cobra. This is like the Destro you would see on the front lines. Like whenever I look at this Destro, for one, he just looks like a freaking maniac. Like, how do I put it? The dude just has aura. And I hate saying it like that, but he has unlimited aura. Like, he has the giant, armor, the Juggernaut type attire. He has a minigun that like is connected to his armor, and it has like a swivel joint. So he could like one arm a freaking minigun if he wanted to, and keeping it level with his armor. So he has like a rig that goes around his belt, or hooks to his belt, and he could swing a minigun around. So that's awesome. And then not only that, I would love to see a briefcase full of money. I think that'd be so sick. But the really important thing for this figure that I want them to get right, besides the armor, is the face. I don't want a stoic Destro face. I want a mean mugging Destro face, like a frowner, teeth gritting, because I can just picture in my head, Cobra. I don't know. They attack something. I don't know. They attack G.I. Joe's base. I don't know. They attack in the inner city. I don't care. Middle of the desert. But all I can see in my head is G.I. Joe just shivering. I mean, just scared, goosebumps, because they see one Destro walking at them super slowly with a minigun and two freaking Iron Grenadiers. So like basically three Juggernauts, walking in a triangle formation with unlimited ammo, just, going to freaking town, absolutely decimating anything in their path. That's what I envision. And I think that's why I want that figure so bad. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you if you stopped and you chatted. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really want to know what you would like to see from G.I. Joe Classified. What figures you would like for them to do, because there's a lot that they can do still. And I know that we are definitely going to reiterate. I mean, we're definitely going to revisit characters that we already have in the line, but just different attires, different suits, which is fine. And as you can see, I have a lot of characters here on my list that I'd like to see different versions of. So that's just me. But anyways, guys, just to preface again, this is my opinion. Probably should have said that in the beginning of the video. But like, I'm not going to dog on you if you totally disagree or you want something different. Like, this is just my opinion. This is just what I would like to see. But yeah, I'm tired. I just lost all train of thought. I don't know. I'd like to see more G.I. Joe Classified though. Especially Moneybags Destro. Anyways, guys, I think that'll do it for this video. I appreciate you if you stop by to watch. And remember, stay frosty and God loves you. Y'all have a good one.